I like baseball history. So I wrote a book, Yearly Leaders of Every Batting Category. I have 13 chapters in this book. Chapter 12, I look at stolen bases. The top the top baseball players in history that made the top 5 each season in stolen bases. Ken Arzon here talking baseball. I'm looking at Thursday, June 18th, 2026. This video, I want to look at the 1930s. Who stood out? Top 5 stolen bases. Kiki Kyler, again. 1920s, he made the list. Let's see. How many times did Kiki Kyler make the top 5? He's a Hall of Famer. 6 times. So 1930, Kiki Kyler, 37 stolen bases. Marty McManus, 23. Charlie Gehringer, 27. Babe Herman, 18. Paul Waner, 18. Stolen bases are down. 1931, Ben Chapman, 61. It's a little higher. Roy Johnson, 33. Frankie Frisch, 28. Jack Birds, 19. Bill Cassell, 18. 1932, top 5. Ben Chapman, 38. That's the high for the year. What happened to the 60, 70, 80 stolen bases? Ty Cobb had 96. Remember Billy Hamilton, 1880s? He had over 100. Now the high for the year, 1932, is Ben Chapman's 38. My theory is this. Catchers are much better holding on runners in the 1920s and 1930s. Stronger arms, and the base runners are not trying to steal as much because the catchers are much better than they were in the 1880s and 1890s. That's a theory I have. 1932, Ben Chapman, 38, G. Walker, 30, Chuck Klein, 21, Roy Johnson, 20, Tony Piet, 20. 1933, the high for the year, Ben Chapman's 27. G. Walker, 26, Pepper Martin, 26, Ever Swanson, 19, Chick Bullis, 18. 1934, Billy Werber, 40, JoJo White, 28, Ben Chapman, 26. Ben Chapman's had about 4 consecutive top 5 finishes. Peter Fox, 25, Pepper Martin, 23. 1935, Billy Werber, 29, Lynn Larry, 28, Augie Gallen, 22, Mel Almado, 20, Pepper Martin, 20. Stolen base totals are really low in the 1930s. 1936, Lynn Larry, 37, Jack Powell, 26, Billy Werber, 23, Pepper Martin, 23, Roy Hughes, 20. Guys are not stealing. 1937, Billy Werber and Ben Chapman, 35, Augie Gallen, 23, G. Walker, 23, Luke Appling, 18. 1938, top 5. Frankie Corsetta, 27. Lynn Larry, 23. Billy Werber, 19. Buddy Lewis, 17. Stan Hack, 16. 1939, all right. George Case, 51. That's the high for the decade. Mike Kravish, 23. Pete Fox, 23. Barney McCoskey, 20. Joe Kuehl, 18. So the 1930s got Ben Chapman 4 times. Actually 5 times. Ben Chapman made the top 5 times. Got Pepper Martin a couple, 3 times. Other than that, Billy Werber had a couple. 1930s stolen bases down. The high for the decade, 51. No, 61. Ben Chapman, 61. Other than that, the guys are in the 30s and 20s. Listen to this. In 1933, the high was 27 by Ben Chapman. Then in 1938, the high was 27. That's nothing. They're playing a 154-game season. Only 27 stolen bases would be the high for the year. Catchers are much better. Strong arms, holding runners on, and throwing them out. So the runners are not trying to steal. All right, that's the 1930s. I'm going to give it to Ben Chapman. Billy Werber, making the top 5 multiple times. Let's look at the 1940s in the next video. Let's see who's stealing bases during that decade. I know later on in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, numbers will increase. Wonder why. 1880s, guys were stealing 100. Then after the turn of the century, it started going down. And now the 1920s and 1930s, not that high totals. 30, maybe 40 here and there. All right, next video, the 1940s. I'm out.